What if everything you know about reality is a lie? Sounds like the plot of a sci-fi movie, right? But what if I told you that some of the brightest minds in science are seriously considering this possibility? Recent scientific theories and experiments have suggested that what we perceive as reality might not be as solid as we think. From the bizarre behaviors of quantum particles to the intricate structure of the cosmos, there's growing evidence that our universe could be a grand simulation. But why does this matter? The implications of this theory are profound. It could revolutionize our understanding of science, shake the foundations of philosophy, and even impact our everyday lives. All right, let's dive into what the simulation hypothesis is. At its core, this hypothesis suggests that our universe is an artificial simulation, similar to a computer program. Imagine living inside a highly advanced video game where everything you see, feel, and experience is coded by some super intelligent beings or advanced civilizations. This idea sounds pretty wild, but it's gaining serious attention from scientists and thinkers alike. The simulation hypothesis took off thanks to philosopher Nick Bostrom. Back in 2003, he proposed the idea in a paper that argued we might be living in a simulation. Bostrom's argument was based on the idea that if a civilization advanced enough to create realistic simulations, it would likely create many of them. So, statistically, we might just be one of those many simulations instead of the one original reality. What's fascinating is how much this idea has caught on in recent years. With advances in technology, especially in fields like virtual reality and artificial intelligence, the concept feels more plausible than ever. People are starting to ask serious questions about the nature of our reality. Even big names like Elon Musk have publicly said they think there's a good chance we're living in a simulation. This blending of cutting-edge science and philosophical inquiry has made the simulation hypothesis a hot topic in both academic circles and popular culture. When we look at scientific theories and experiments, things get even more intriguing. Let's start with quantum mechanics. This branch of physics deals with the tiniest particles in the universe, like electrons and photons. One of the weirdest things about quantum mechanics is something called entanglement. When particles become entangled, the state of one instantly affects the state of the other, no matter how far apart they are. It's like they have a mysterious connection that defies the laws of classical physics. Then there's the observer effect, which suggests that simply observing a quantum system can change its state. These phenomena hint that our reality might be more complex and interconnected than we can easily grasp. Now let's zoom out to the cosmos. There's some cosmological evidence that adds to the simulation hypothesis. Take the fine-tuning of physical constants, for example. The values of fundamental forces and constants in our universe are precisely what they need to be for life to exist. If any of these values were slightly different, stars wouldn't form, atoms wouldn't hold together, and life as we know it wouldn't be possible. This precise tuning raises the question: was our universe designed with a specific purpose in mind, like a carefully programmed simulation? Lastly, let's talk about digital physics. This idea suggests that the universe can be described as a massive computational system. According to this theory, the laws of physics are akin to the rules and algorithms of a computer program. Just like how a video game world operates on code, our universe might function based on underlying digital principles. Some scientists propose that space, time, and matter might be quantized, much like pixels in a digital image or bits in computer data. This perspective aligns with the simulation hypothesis, presenting our universe as the ultimate, most sophisticated program ever conceived. As wild as these ideas sound, they're gaining traction as we make strides in technology and our understanding of the cosmos. The simulation hypothesis might just be the key to unlocking some of the greatest mysteries of existence. All right, now let's get into why some people believe we might actually be living in a simulation. First up is technological feasibility. With the rapid advancements in AI and computing, it's not as far-fetched as it once seemed. Think about how far video games and virtual reality have come in just a few decades. Our technology is evolving at an incredible pace, and it's not crazy to think that in the future, we could create simulations so detailed that the characters within them would believe they're real. If we can imagine it, a super advanced civilization could potentially achieve it. Then there's the mathematical evidence. The universe seems to have a deep, underlying mathematical structure. From the laws of physics to the patterns we see in nature, everything follows precise mathematical rules. This has led some to speculate that our universe is essentially a designed system, much like a complex computer program. If the universe behaves like it's built on code, maybe it is. Finally, let's talk about philosophical arguments. One compelling idea is the concept of the ancestor simulation. Philosopher Nick Bostrom suggested that if future civilizations could create highly advanced simulations, they might want to run simulations of their ancestors to understand their history. If that's the case, the number of simulated realities would far outnumber the one original reality. Statistically, it's more likely that we're living in one of these many simulations rather than the one true reality. These arguments combine to paint a picture that, while hard to believe, is becoming increasingly plausible as our technology and understanding of the universe advance. The idea that our reality might be an intricate, designed simulation is a mind-blowing concept that challenges everything we think we know about existence. While the simulation hypothesis is fascinating, it's important to look at the other side of the argument. There's a lot of skepticism within the scientific community about the idea that our universe is just a sophisticated simulation. Many scientists argue that it's an interesting thought experiment, but there's no solid evidence to back it up. They point out that just because something is technologically feasible doesn't mean it's happening. Without concrete proof, the simulation hypothesis remains speculative. Then, there are alternative explanations for the phenomena that seem to support the simulation hypothesis. Take the fine-tuning of the universe, for instance. Some scientists suggest that instead of our universe being designed, there could be an infinite number of universes with different physical constants. In this multiverse scenario, we just happen to live in one where the conditions are right for life. Quantum mechanics might be strange and counterintuitive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's evidence of a simulated reality. It could simply be that our understanding of the universe is still incomplete. Philosophically, there are also objections to the idea of a simulated universe. Some argue that even if a future civilization could create simulations, it doesn't mean they would. The motivations and ethical considerations of such a civilization are purely speculative. Additionally, the idea of living in a simulation raises questions about the nature of consciousness and free will. If we are simulated beings, do we have real experiences and make genuine choices? Or are we just following pre-programmed paths? These philosophical dilemmas add layers of complexity and doubt to the simulation hypothesis. In short, while the simulation hypothesis is an intriguing idea, it's met with significant skepticism and alternative explanations. The debate continues, and as our technology and understanding of the universe evolve, we might get closer to finding answers or discovering even more questions. Let's imagine for a moment that we could prove the universe is a simulation. The impact on science would be nothing short of revolutionary. It would completely change how we approach research and our understanding of the cosmos. If our reality is a program, then figuring out the rules of this program could unlock new levels of technological advancement. We might be able to manipulate the code of the universe in ways we never thought possible. Scientists would have to rethink everything from the laws of physics to the nature of space and time. Then, there are the ethical and philosophical questions. If we're living in a simulation, what does that mean for our sense of self and consciousness? Are we real in the same way we always thought we were? Or are we just complex lines of code with the illusion of free will? This raises all kinds of questions about identity, morality, and the value of life. If our experiences and choices are part of a program, do they still hold the same significance? These questions might not have easy answers, but they're crucial to consider. Looking ahead, many areas of future research could either support or debunk the simulation hypothesis. Advances in quantum computing and AI might bring us closer to understanding the nature of our reality. Experiments in quantum mechanics could reveal more about the underlying structure of the universe. Philosophers and ethicists will continue to debate the implications, pushing us to think deeper about our existence. The journey to uncover the truth is just beginning, and who knows what we might discover. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.